Hello everyone, myself Shilpi Moitro, Assistant Professor of English in Falakata College, Alipurduar under North Bengal University. Today's lesson plan is based on The Chimney Sweeper, which has been written by William Blake, and it is in Core Course 9 under British Romantic Literature in Unit 1. This is for 4th semester students of English Honours. The Chimney Sweeper is the title of the poem by William Blake, which was published in two parts in The Songs of Innocence and The Songs of Experience. This is the part 1 of The Chimney Sweeper, which is a poem in The Songs of Innocence. Today's lesson plan is based on the poem of Chimney Sweeper, which is categorized under the Songs of Innocence. The name of the poem is When My Mother Died, I Was Very Young. As the title suggests, the poem has a very bleak and pensive setting. The somber mood becomes dominant as the child narrator reminisces about his dead mother. He himself does not remember his mother because he was very young when she had passed away, but he fondly tries to clutch or cling to her only memory. The title becomes more symbolic as the loss of his mother represents the loss of his blissful childhood. While we can question whether that childhood ever existed or not, because before he could sense his own origin, he was sold off. While we go through the first few lines, we the readers understand that the little boy, who is also a nameless narrator, was sold by his father before he could barely speak. Now, the concept of being a nameless narrator has a different variation of meaning. Namelessness can be associated with someone who does not have a proper identity. And when a particular person does not have a proper identity, it also suggests the fact that he does not have much value in his real life. And also he is a poor fellow who was sold off at a very tender age, so therefore he has not been named in a proper manner, and he does not belong to a rich class of society or to a rich family that he would be blessed to have a personal identity. The death of the mother stands for the elimination of love, compassion, sympathy, and pity in his life. It also marks the end of his innocent phase as he begins his journey as a chimney sweeper. That also marks the termination of his earlier states. His present unfortunate condition represents the lives of all young boys who were sold for this chimney sweeping business during the 18th century in Europe, and they succumbed due to the unhealthy and unhygienic conditions of work. His present existence have made him much more experienced, and he consoles his friend Tom Decree for crying because his head was shaved. And we see how sympathetically he consoles the child even though he himself is one, by administering the fact that now the soot or the carbon or the ash cannot spoil his hair anymore. That very night, Tom had a dream. He saw that he, along with the other sweepers like Dick, Joe, Ned, and Jack, were locked up in the black coffins. Black coffins are the imageries of death. Death becomes a gruesome reality because it is in their death that they find their ultimate solace and happiness. They are relieved, or they desire to be relieved from their human pain. A note of escapism might be found in these lines, where death is not painful anymore, but it is a medium which eases the very pain of existence. And one of the ironical thematic aspects of this poem is that they don't live happily, but they look for death. It is only in their death that they can embrace their life that was never lived before. The angel appears with a bright key that frees their locked up human selves, and they happily get transformed into free spirits. These free spirits happily laugh, leap, and roam around with joy and hopefulness in their eyes. They wash themselves and enter into a pure form of bliss which cannot be contaminated by any form of dirt. As they happily ferried upon the clouds, the angel confided to Tom that if he becomes a good boy, then he would have God as his father. Or, in other words, we can say that he would meet God, and that would be a dream come true for a young boy like him. This possibly means that he will be facing the near death situation very soon. And if he embraces death, then he might meet Christ, who is the Father. And the phrase never and never want joy might suggest that he should not complain about his condition, as he is destined to face this. The sarcasm appeals to the readers who can feel the wretched condition of the chimney sweepers, who die because of the utter neglect, malnutrition, and horrible working conditions and hours. As Tom woke from his sleep and started for his daily routine job, he felt warm and happy within. As he replayed the images that came to him in the form of a dream, it was more of an utopian dream for him, which would never be true. But it is very difficult for a young narrator or for a child like Tom to understand the rhetorical significance of life and death, which are the two most universal aspects of human life, as our lives are bound by death and death alone. The cold weather could not harm or perturb him, as he seemed to be enchanted with the dream. He could sense his true sense of freedom from this life in the form of death. Although death happens to be a very heavy word for his understanding, yet his gleeful nature and mind notified him about the paradise and the heaven, where he would be happy, untouched by the pangs of human existence. The poet wanted to represent a cruel world, which shows how the young boys are sold off as chimney sweepers, and discussed about the criminal mentality of the people who gives rise to child labor, thereby destroying their life as well as their future. One ironic aspect about this poem is that here the father stands in stark contrast with the concept of life giver. The father is not merciful anymore. In fact, he is the one who commits a heinous crime, a barbarous crime, like selling his small son after his wife's death. The two binaries, or the dual aspects, or the dualism that have moved every reader of this poem is the contradictory relationship between the creator and his creation. This also shows how their lives have been designed or constructed because of utter destitution and exploitation. This particular poem gives us a social message, and child labor, being one of the social evils, is still very much relevant in today's world. Forget about the 18th century European background of this poem. The 21st century background of the present in the Indian scenario also does not affirm much aspiring notions or hope. While concluding the grim setting of the poem, let us take a pledge in our own way to eradicate this social evil in a far more meaningful manner. Thank you, my dear listeners, and I do hope that my students who are listening would be benefited from this short lesson plan. Thank you.